Hello, everyone. My name is Errol, and uh, this is my first video that I'm making today. Um, so forgive me if my video seems choppy um, or grainy. I'm still trying to figure out lighting and everything like that. But as I learn more, the videos will improve. But I wanted to make a video about this situation with this comedian that said this joke about Puerto Rico, and also said other jokes about black people and all that. Um, there's a big uproar with the Puerto Rican community about this joke. I am Puerto Rican myself, so I would like to chime in on this. I'm not considered a Republican, but I do value and support Trump rather than support Harris, because she has shown that, for me personally, she has shown that she is not a good person to run the country. Trump has been in office. He has shown that he is a better candidate to run the country. But I wanted to talk about this thing that happened with the comedian. I found it very strange that this comedian came out with this joke in New York, knowing that there's a big population in New York, a big population of Puerto Ricans in New York. Also, this joke, he knew that this joke would damage Trump. There's no way he couldn't have known this. There is no freaking way he couldn't have known that this joke would have damaged Trump's campaign. So I started to question motive, and when I listened to the joke, I rewound it a few times, and I listened to the joke, and I seen that that this joke wasn't told to make people laugh. You can tell that the joke was not told to make people laugh. This joke was told to piss people off, okay? And I know that this comedian, I've never heard of him before, so I never heard of this guy, so I had to research about him. And I know he's the type of comedian that likes to push the envelope, but at the same time, he knew that this joke was out of line. But what I started to see also was that the news the next day was more focused on the Puerto Ricans than the blacks, because he did make a joke about blacks and watermelons. But the media wasn't concerned about that. They were concerned about the Puerto Ricans. And then when I started to think about things, and then I started to put things together, I realized that they're fighting over Pennsylvania, which is a swing state. And I used to live in Pennsylvania, so I know that there is a really, really high population of Puerto Ricans in the mountains of Pennsylvania, from Reading to Allentown, Bethlehem, Easton, which is where I lived, Philadelphia. I mean, and there's other towns in Pennsylvania that have Puerto Ricans, a lot of Puerto Ricans in them. So I started to think, this guy sounds like he was being subordinate to the Republican Party with his comedic act setting up for Trump. It sounded like a subordination. And then when I started to research this guy, I seen that he has the same management company as Bad Bunny, okay? And Bad Bunny, as we already know, is backing up Kamala Harris. Now, I researched this company. Let me get that for you guys here real quick. So here's the comedian. His name is Tony Hinchecliffe, and he is with the United Talent Agency is who he's with, right? And then also, just to show you guys, Bad Bunny is with the same company. Isn't that ironic? Isn't that ironic how these two are with the same talent company? Now, some people might say, well, that doesn't mean anything, you know. They might say, yeah, but isn't Tony Hinchecliffe a Republican? He's backing Trump. Well, yeah, he says he is, but his actions, not so much. And then when I researched this company and their donations, you can see that in 2024 they donated $116,904,000 to the Democrats, and they donated $1 to the Republicans. So what does that tell you? That tells us that this is a Democratic company. They're Democrats. They side with the Democrats. So this guy definitely sides with the Democrats. So what does that tell me about this guy? That he was probably influenced by his talent agency. They probably paid him to throw some jokes that'll make Donald Trump look bad, which isn't hard to do. All you have to do is say the jokes that he said, knowing that Puerto Ricans are very prideful people. You can, you know, and it looks like, you know, a lot of people fell for it, because a lot of Puerto Ricans are getting upset about this. Even the governor of Puerto Rico wound up, you know, I seen him giving an interview about this. Like, are you serious? Come on, man. Like, there's so many more important issues on Puerto Rico that this governor could be focusing on, and he's focusing on a comedian's joke. It's just ridiculous. So then now you have a lot of Puerto Ricans that are saying that Trump is a racist and blah 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 blah. And I wanted to touch base on something that that a lot of people don't know. I have a friend that just was released from federal prison, and he was sentenced to 15 years, but he got out a year early. And we were talking the other day, and I said, you know, I didn't know this. And he was like, yeah, I got out a year early. I was supposed to get out next year, but because of Trump, I got out early because he passed something called the First Step Act. And I didn't know this. And I said, oh, okay. So I did some research on that. And here goes the First Step Act. It says on December 21st, 2018, President Trump signed into law the First Step Act. The act was the culmination of a bipartisan effort to improve criminal justice outcomes, as well as to reduce the size of the federal prison population, while also creating mechanisms to maintain public safety. So you guys can go ahead and you know, read that. So this shows that, you know how many Puerto Ricans and blacks benefited from this? I mean, it's like, you know, so for them to say that he's a racist and all this stuff is ridiculous. He's not a racist. This is just one instance. You know, there's a lot of things that he's done for minority, what they call minorities. If you research, you'll see. And then, of course, you got The View that really, oh my gosh, forget about it. They had a ball with this comedian saying these things and all this. So my message is to my Puerto Rican people: don't get strayed or led astray by this stupid joke thing. In reality, I feel that this guy was sent in to basically sabotage Trump. Now, let's say that he wasn't sent in to sabotage Trump and that he was just telling jokes and he likes to push the envelope. Then, with that being said, it was just a joke, man. And, I remember back in the 70s when Archie Bunker, shows like that, the Jeffersons, they went there with the race jokes. And we didn't get offended, man. We didn't get offended. It's like, we need to stop this getting offended for such bullshit. It's really ridiculous. We shouldn't get offended by jokes like this. Especially, us Puerto Ricans, we're proud. We're a proud people, man. There's no reason for us to get offended by a joke. It's a joke. I mean, come on. Are you really garbage? No, you're not. So just cut the shit out. Like, gosh, man. Like, really. Let's stop this. But in reality, the reason why I made this video, because I see a lot of Puerto Ricans getting their feelings hurt by this. And like I said, I really think that he was sent in or paid to sabotage Trump, because it didn't sound like he was trying to be funny. It really didn't. It sounded like he was trying to, like he had an agenda, and he was trying to piss people off. So any talent agency that represents this guy, I wouldn't put any trust in, because this guy definitely has an agenda behind him, this Bad Bunny character. I just wanted to bring that forward, and and let us use our brains and not our emotions, man. Thank you guys for spending time with me here, and I hope I was able to give you some information on that, and we'll see what happens. Trump 2024, we really need him, because this stuff that's going on needs to stop. We need to really get back on track as far as this country is concerned, and we got a lot of work to do cleaning up the mess that Biden and Kamala made. There's a lot of cleanup that needs to be done. So yeah, I'm with it. Trump 2024, let's get it done. Have a good night, y'all.